Okay. Just a minute. So the recording started. Okay, good afternoon. So today we are going to see about the environment current affairs. So for the last 1 year. So first thing, I'm going to share you the entire slides. So we have around 120 slides or something. So you have to give me only 1 day time. That is probably by tomorrow afternoon, because some more I need to add it. And by maximum by tomorrow afternoon, definitely this entire slides will be put in the group, Telegram group. So you can use it. So that's the first thing. Second is, so coming to our environment, which already I told you. So we have many topics. The first is the ecology topic. So from the ecology, we may not have much current affair. Then coming to the second one, ecosystem. Of course, in the ecosystem, definitely 1 or 2 current affairs right now you may find it. Of course, we can discuss about corals and all. Number 3, biodiversity. This is a very, very exhaustive area, which I already told you. A lot of species, a lot of wildlife sanctuaries, national parks will come in the biodiversity. So we have many facts. So here you don't have any other option. Do multiple revision. So already in the Hindu newspaper, probably you would have seen some national park, wildlife sanctuary and species and all. So now I'm going to give you some more species which you can add on to it. And these species, please try to do multiple revision. Otherwise you will forget it, because factually they can ask it. So a major part will be a biodiversity in the current affair. The fourth part will be the pollution. As the pollution, we will be discussing some of the current affairs related to air pollution and water pollution. Especially in the air pollution, we will discuss about the BS6 scrapping policy and other things and all. And the fifth one, climate change. So climate change, we have done the exhaustive, the various conference of party. So we will see what is the latest thing that has happened in the last 6 to 8 months time. Okay. So now let's get into the slides directly. Okay. So now I hope that you will be seeing this PPT. Let's take. So some basic conventional part also a little bit, we'll do a small revision of it. So in the biodiversity, we have seen the integrated development of wildlife habitat. So this is a very important program, integrated development of wildlife habitat. Actually, this is a program which money is given to all the states and union territory for the conservation of wildlife and also the protected area. So under this program, already I told you, there is a recovery program. So the program name is called Recovery Program for Saving Critically Endangered Species and Habitat. So this program is specific for some of the important top species. So today, totally around 17 plus 4 plus 1. So approximately 17 plus 4, 20, 21, 22. So right now, 22 critically endangered species has been identified under this program. Please keep in mind, when I say a critically endangered, most of the species may not be critically endangered. Some species will be least concern. So globally, it may be least concern, but in the Indian context, it is critically endangered. So in the class itself, already we have discussed it. So anyway, you can see this. So these species, why am I again showing this? These species, before your exam, please try to see the, some information about it. So start from Asian wildlife to Asiatic lion, so vultures, because every year they used to ask on any one species. So if you ask me vultures, they've asked it. I think last year they asked on swamp deer. So snow leopard, they didn't ask. There is a chances this year they can ask. Turtles, they used to ask. Okay, so that is what this 17 plus the 3 species, the 4 species, 17 plus 4, which was already, has been declared as a critically endangered. That is recovery program. So recently what was added is the Caracal. So for some batches, I would have told you the first batch 1, batch 2, and definitely this, I would have not told it. Caracal. So what is Caracal? Caracal is nothing but a desert cat. So Caracal, it is the 22nd species that has been added in the recovery program. So normally in any recovery program, if any species has to be added, it will be done by the NBWL and also the Ministry of Environment. Okay, coming to the Caracal. Caracal is a medium-sized wild cat. It is nothing but a desert cat found in Rajasthan and Gujarat. That is the western part of Rajasthan and Gujarat. So factual information is very important. Its status is least concern. So IUCN status, it is least concern. But in India, it is declining. In Asia, it is declining. So keep in mind, it is only least concern as far as the IUCN status. But in the Asia, it is declining. But in Africa, it is increasing. In other parts of the country, it is increasing. So normally a Caracal, a wild cat, generally they have a long leg. So obviously a short face. And it will have a black hair at its tips. So it's the Caracal, the name comes from the Turkish. So why it is called Caracal means in the Turkish language, of course, they have a meaning. Of course, they call it as a Caracal. It is called black ear. So normally the Caracal ears will be black ear. So from that only the name is derived. So what type of a species it is? Basically, it is a carnivore. It is a nocturnal. Nocturnal, most of the time, nighttime it will be very active. And the one important feature is it is highly secretive and difficult to observe. So it's not so easy to see the species. It's very difficult to see the species. Most of the time, it will be very, very secretive. So in Africa, they say that it is flourishing, but in Asia, it is declining. Okay, in India, of course, Caracal, you will find it in Rajasthan and Gujarat. The major national park or any protected area that is connected is Sariska Tiger Reserve, Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. That is connected. Because last year, they asked, I think last year, they asked a question on Great Indian Bustard, because which came in the newspaper. But they didn't ask any question directly on Great Indian Bustard. Immediately they went and asked, Great Indian Bustard is found in which national park? Is related to which national park or something. So Caracal, of course, since it can be found in many national parks and other of Rajasthan and Gujarat, but Sariska Tiger Reserve and Ranthambore Tiger Reserve is a major one. Okay, that's the first thing. The second is coming to the wetlands. So right now, we have approximately 46 wetlands, Ramsar site. So try to see the latest wetland and associated. The 42nd wetland. The 42nd wetland is, it's found in the Ladakh Sokar wetland complex. Sokar, T-S-O-K-A-R, Sokar. This wetland is found in the Ladakh. It is in the high altitude wetland. Obviously, it is in the high altitude wetland. Basically, this wetland, it consists of two main water bodies. The one is called Satspakso and Sokar. So what is the uniqueness is, this Satspakso is a freshwater lake, whereas Sokar, basically it is a hypersaline. Hypersaline means high salinity. That is salinity which is more than your seawater. And its area is around 1,800 hectares. Okay, Sokar, what is a, you cannot call it as a brackish water. Hypersaline means it is a water which is high in the salinity than the salt water, than the seawater. That's called hyper. So what is famous? Basically, it is a important bird area, IBA. And you know that most of the Ramsar site, most of the wetland, the main feature is many birds comes and visits there. So this Sokar is a very, very important bird area in the BirdLife International, which already discussed. It is coming under A1 category. So normally A1 category are the more threatened, birds in that. And also it is part of our Central Asian flyway, which we discussed in the CMS, if you remember. And the main species is our black-necked crane. So Sokar, you can find a lot of black-necked crane, because black-necked crane, it is an important breeding area. So already we discussed about black-necked crane. It's a holy bird, am I right? In the Tibetan culture and also in the Buddhist culture. So in Bhutan also they have a festival, black-necked crane. So breeding center, of course, important breeding area is the Sokar. Okay, so that's one thing. So all the slides I will just share it after the session, so you can have a revision of it. Because since it's more of factual, you need to do multiple revision. Okay, after the 42nd wetland, 4 more Ramsar sites have been included. Okay, so what are those Ramsar sites? Thol, THOL from Gujarat, Wadwana from Gujarat, Sultanpur, it's a national park from Haryana, Bindawas from Haryana. So keep in mind, 4, Ramsar site has been included. Okay, so what is the significance of this 4? Yes, I've given the detail here. You can see here, this Bindawas Wildlife Sanctuary. Basically, it's a wildlife sanctuary and also a Ramsar site. It is a largest wetland in Haryana. The very important is it is a man-made. It is a man-made wetland. Okay, even though it is a man-made, so it supports more than 250 bird varieties. And of course, this entire sanctuary, throughout the year, you can find, birds will be resting and roosting. Okay, and that is what some of the important birds is: steppe eagle, Pallas fish eagle, Egyptian vulture. Okay, just a minute. So Pallas fish eagle, black-bellied tern, Egypt vulture. These are the birds, you can find it here. The second is Sultanpur National Park. So it is a national park in Haryana. So it also supports a lot of winter migratory birds, local migratory wind birds. So more than 220 species of birds is available in the Sultanpur National Park. Some 4 to 5 years back, there was an issue related to bird flu in the Sultanpur National Park. So many bird died, some around 5 years back. Many bird died in the Sultanpur National Park because of the flu. Then comes the Thal Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. So it is in the Gujarat, which is in the part of the Central Asian Flyway. So it also supports a lot of our birds, which is more than 320 varieties of birds is supported. So in that, some of the vultures are supported, and very important is the sociable lapwing. Already we have seen the sociable lapwing and common pochard. So the 2 birds, you can find it in the wildlife sanctuary. So the last one is the Wadwana wetland. So this Wadwana wetland, this is a internationally important wetland. Of course, it is also located in the Gujarat. It's also important bird area. So it is also part of the Central Asian Flyway. So here, some of the important species is the common pochard and Dalmatian pelican. Dalmatian pelican. Dalmatian pelican. Okay. So these are the wetlands. See, this 4 wetland, I'm not saying it's a high altitude wetland. High altitude wetland means this is what? Sokar Basin in Ladakh. It's a high altitude wetland. Okay. So Thol, Wadwana, Sultanpur National Park, and Bindawas. Okay, wildlife sanctuary. So you may get only as a factual question. Then comes a small report. This is a report brought by WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature, and UNEP. This report is based on the human-wildlife coexistence. It's nothing but man-animal conflict. Man-animal conflict. So why this report is very important right now is because this report clearly says that in India, more number of animals are being killed because of this man-animal conflict, especially elephants and some of the wild cat species, especially tiger, leopards and all. So what this report says is, in a nutshell, this report says that this man-animal conflict is going to be the biggest threat for the long-term survival of the species. And that too very important species like keystone species, flagship species, umbrella species, iconic species and all. And they also predicted, this WWF and UNEP predicted that more than 75% of the world cat species have died because of this man-animal conflict. So that means what is left is only 25%. So including polar bear and all, and especially elephant. And also they said that from 1970s, if you see, it is global wildlife population has reduced by 68%. Okay, so that means the majority of the animals have died in a man-animal conflict after 1970, because after 1970, a lot of development takes place, coal mining and all. Okay, So that's what the data shows. In Indian context, they say that, of course, elephant is a major example because we have lost more than 2,300, elephants between, for the last 10, 15 years of time. Every year, more than 300 to 500 elephants is being killed. Apart from elephants, yes, tigers, Asiatic lion, one-horned rhinos, all, is reported to have death because of this man-animal conflict. So that means they say that we have to reduce it. Okay, how to reduce it? So they themselves in the report said it's not possible to completely eradicate this human man-animal conflict. It's not possible because we are in the process of development. Definitely, most of the development, some or other way, takes place only in the forest region and adjoining region. So it's not completely possible to eradicate. But when we go for a planned approach, then there is a high possibility that we can reduce the conflict. So what is that planned approach? Already we have one model which is called Sonitpur model. So what is the Sonitpur model? Actually, Sonitpur is a district in Assam. In this district, our WWF India, Worldwide Fund for Nature India, they have taken a pilot project in order to reduce this man-animal conflict, especially for the especially to control the elephant ride. You know that normally elephant comes and rides the crops. So what they have done is they have done of course the model, the Sonitpur model says that the local people will be connected with the state forest official and they will be given a training, and apart from that they will be provided some low cost methods and also non-lethal electric fence, some guarding methods and all, so that the elephant does not come inside the crop, so that in ultimately the crop losses also has become zero and human and elephant death also has been reduced. So the Sonitpur model, which was brought during 2003-2004, is a successful model. So the UNEP WWF report says that such a model has to be implemented across India, especially for elephant. Especially for elephant, because even though all the species are getting died because of man-animal conflict, but elephant is a more vulnerable for man-animal conflict. Because as I told you in the class, elephant walks for a very long period of time. I'm right, more than 20 hours it walks. So that's the reason elephant has to be conserved. Elephant corridor has to be conserved. Okay, so in this line, so some information about elephants. So already we have seen Project Elephant and all. So here there is some reports. There is a report, the Wildlife Society of Odisha report on elephant landscape. Elephant landscape. The report talks specifically about Odisha. So in Odisha, because of the mindless mining, of course, mining, legal mining, illegal mining, and also because of the unplanned development activity, we have lost more amount of elephants in the last 10 years. And also the entire elephant landscape itself has been dramatically changed in the last 2 decades, especially in the 20 years, because of this unplanned mining and development activity. So in this specifically, they are mentioning about Keonjhar district of Odisha, where of course, in 2002, there were more than 112 elephants. Now it is only 40 elephants, purely because of mining activity. And in some regions, okay, elephants population has increased. But if you see some other regions like Chandaka Sanctuary, in Chandaka Sanctuary and all, elephants has reduced or it is getting killed because of electrocution. So Chandaka Sanctuary. So these two in this report, Chandaka Sanctuary and Keonjhar district. So the two was mentioned. Apart from that, it is also said that most of the elephant also dies because of poaching and electrocution. Poaching and electrocution is also a major concern. And then coming to the one, there is a central team report on Odisha elephant death. This is another thing which came in the month of this January, February. It came in Odisha, Karlapat Wildlife Sanctuary. See, actually, these are the sanctuary names you need to keep in mind, or you can write it in a paper, all the sanctuary names with the district. So multiple times you can do a revision. You have to do a revision. See, this central team report is nothing but our Ministry of Environment team. Central team has gone to see the elephant death, which was reported in the Karlapat Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, what they have found is this elephant has died because of a disease, because of a bacteria. That bacteria name is called, they suspect this bacteria, Pasturella. So this bacteria is a gram-negative bacteria. They think that they have reported that because of this bacteria, the elephant have died. So how they have died? It's because of hemorrhage. So hemorrhage, blood clotting. So hemorrhagic septicemia. So that is what they have done. So they have taken the RNA test and all, DNA test and all, they have taken it. And they have collected the sample and they tested in the Odisha Veterinary College. Finally, they concluded that in all the dead elephants, it is found that high level of this Pasturella bacteria was high. So that means some or other way this disease is spreading. So that's one information about the Odishan elephant death. Okay. Karlaput Wildlife Sanctuary. Karlaput Wildlife Sanctuary. It is in the Kalahandi district. Okay, in Odisha, it is a tourist attraction. So this also has tiger, nilgai, sambar, barking deer, everything. Okay. So the next related to elephant is Project Rehab. The Project Rehab is nothing but reducing elephant-human attack using bees. So what they are going to do is, this is a project. This project, we are going to have a fence, a bee box fence in the elephant corridors, wherever the elephant. So wherever, suppose you assume this is this is where the humans survive. So assume this is an elephant zone. So between the zone between the human and the elephant, so where the interaction happen, in that region, they may go for a fence. So in that fence, they are going to make a fence because of this bee box. Okay, so they are going to train the bees and they are going to train. So what is the purpose is, now, you know that the bee will give a vibration. All right, this vibration or buzz, normally we call it as, this buzz or the vibration irritates elephant. And also most of the time, sometimes one or two bee comes, generally there is a chances that the bee may, sting them, may bite them in the trunk and all, or in the eyes, fearing that the elephant may not enter the particular territory. So by that way, the human-man-animal conflict can be reduced. So here they find that this is very, very effective. So that's the reason they have taken it. They have started in Nagarhole National Park. You know that Western Ghats, Karnataka Western Ghats is a region where you have the largest number of or the largest density of Asian elephants. So here they started with the Nagarhole National Park. So to use the bees to control the elephant. So most of the time, the sound, the vibration of the bee itself will irritate the elephant, prevent the elephant to enter into the territory. By that way, we can reduce this man-animal conflict, especially in the elephant. It also seems to be a little bit successful. That's the reason they are trying out. Okay. This is about the elephants. Now coming to the tiger. So we have any news related to the tiger. The one is, there is a accreditation. The accreditation name is called Global Conservation Assured Tiger Standards Accreditation. Okay. So what is it is? Basically, it is a accreditation, means it's something like a certification. It is a conservation tool. So conservation tool in the sense is, if you have a tiger reserve, let me say any tiger reserve. So you have to manage the tiger reserve, am I right? Management of the tiger reserve. Okay, for this management of the tiger reserve, you need to have best practices. See, any country can manage their tiger reserve through any method. Okay, there can be any methods or any strategies, any policies they can have. But if you want to effectively manage any tiger reserve so that you can maximize the tiger, so that the ecology balance will be good, then you need to go for a best standards, best practices, best standards, tools and all you need to have. Management techniques, I can say. Now, that is something called the Global Conservation Assured Tiger Standards. So now, these standards have been implemented in some of our tiger reserve. We have more than 51 tiger reserve. In that 51 tiger reserve, initially we have started with 20 tiger reserve. Out of the 20 tiger reserve, 14 tiger reserve has got this accreditation. That means this 14 tiger reserves, I can say it has got a accreditation certification. That means it is nothing but it is the best standards, best management practices followed in this tiger reserves. That is what I can say. So comparing with other country, of course, 14 tiger reserves getting a certification is only in this country, only in India, even though this is being applied in 7 tiger range countries. This accreditation is followed by 7 tiger range countries. Out of that, India is one. Of course, India only has achieved this 14 tiger reserve. So what are the 14 tiger reserve? So in Assam, Kaziranga, Manas, Orang. So Madhya Pradesh, Satpura, Panna, Kanha. Maharashtra, Pinch Tiger Reserve. Bihar, Valmiki. UP, Dudhwa. West Bengal, the major Sundarbans, mangroves. Kerala, a very important tiger reserve, Paramikulam. It's a very important tiger reserve. Karnataka, Bandipur, and of course, Tamil Nadu, Mudumalai and Anamai. So this 14 tiger reserves has got the Global Conservation Assured Tiger Standards accreditation. So I can say this is the best standards and practices which is used in this tiger reserve for the management of our for the management of tigers. So it's a one award accreditation. Paramikulam, why it is very important? It also has a dense tigers, more number of tigers in Paramikulam. So factual, again, I want to tell you, all the biodiversity facts is very important. Conceptually, they are not for the last few years. Conceptually, they didn't ask any question. Factual information. So the only one way to get into the factual information is revision. So whatever I'm sharing to you, so do multiple revision. Okay, next one is we have one more tiger reserve in the news, which is Pilibhit Tiger Reserve of UP. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve, it has got an award that is T×2 award. It is nothing but Tiger into 2. So already we discussed about the Tiger into 2 program. That is double the tiger, right? So which was decided in the Petersburg summit. We have to double the tiger. So in this way, in this thing, this Pilibhit Tiger Reserve has reached the double the tiger. So why this is very important news is they have done it in 4 years itself. So actually, if you remember our previous slides, of course, in the tiger, when I was discussing about tiger reserve, so that the thing is the Chinese year. So we have a time of 12 years. So at least you can take 10 years to double the tiger. But this Pilibhit Tiger Reserve, they didn't take 10 years. Within 4 years itself, they have, double the tiger. So that is what this is being chosen for the, award, T×2 award. Okay. And it seems that in the census, the tiger has 47, sorry, the reserve has 57 tigers, but 40 tigers have grown in the 4 years itself. So within a short period of time, so it seems that 40 tigers have increased. So probably many tigers would have migrated and would have come to this reserve because of the, because of the conducive of this environment. So that is the one main reason to consider this tiger reserve for the award. So keep in mind, Pilibhit Tiger Reserve. So the next one which came in the news is Tiger Corridor, proposed Tiger Corridor in Rajasthan. See, they are planning for in Rajasthan government is planning for a new sanctuary, Ramgarh Vishdari Sanctuary. Okay, why they are planning for a new sanctuary is this sanctuary will be acting like a corridor. Assume this is the Ramgarh, okay, Vishdari Sanctuary. It will be acting like a corridor between 2 sanctuaries. That is our major Ranthambore Sanctuary and the Mukundras Tiger Reserve, or Ranthambore Tiger Reserve and Mukundra Tiger Reserve. So this is what it's going to become like it's going to become like a transition zone. Okay, what is the need for it? why they have to bring it? The reason is, it seems that the Ranthambore Tiger Reserve population has increased dramatically. And today also there is one important news is there, that is, right now you know that we have approximately reached 3,000 tigers. Approximately 2,900, 3,000 we have reached it. Many experts, many environmentalists say that according to our future plan, we have to double the tiger. Probably we may go for 5,000 to 6,000 tigers. Okay, now if you bring 6,000 tigers, suppose assume that in future 6,000 tigers are increasing, whether do you have a proper area to accommodate it? Whether the existing tiger reserve is sufficient to accommodate it? No, not at all. Many experts say that no, it's not possible, because if you take a male tiger minimum it needs 50 to 100 square kilometer territory. A female tiger may need approximately 20 square kilometer. So most of the time tiger survives in a dense forest. Sometimes tiger can also be in the open forest, even in the mangroves and other thing. Open forest and mangrove and other thing. So if you see the present number of tiger reserve, the number of tigers right now we have 51 tiger reserve, and approximately we have around 3,000 tigers in the wild. So in this sense, is it sufficient for our, is it okay that more number of tigers, if it is added in our reserve, whether our tiger reserve will take it, whether our tiger reserve has a carrying capacity? Many experts says no. So that is what the issue comes here. The Ranthambore Tiger Reserve, of course, has got more number of tigers. The population has increased, and actually it is facing a problem. But whereas, even though assume this is Ranthambore is here, now here Mukundra Tiger Reserve is here. Mukundra Tiger Reserve, right now it has got only one tiger, and also there is no connecting. So in between that, lot of villages there. So now they are going to relocate some 8 to 9 villages, and they are going to create one sanctuary, nothing but our Ramgarh Vishtari sanctuary, which will be acting like a corridor, so that what happens is the excess Ranthambore tigers can enter into Ramgarh Vishtari, and also it can enter into Mukundra Tiger Reserve. For that reason, they are proposing this tiger corridor, because of the over, more number of tigers in the Ranthambore. It's to balance the population distribution. That's it. So, okay, then comes the vulture conservation. So 2020, we brought a national plan for vulture conservation. Okay, when come to the vulture, there is only one major information on vulture, is the vulture death because of non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug, NSAID. See, non-steroid, you know what is steroid? Steroid is the one which used to reduce the inflammation, but steroid cannot be given. If when people are, when any animals are getting steroid, it will, it will gain more weight. It's not good for the health. It will reduce the immunity and all. So that's the reason we have a drug which is called, of course, the Brufen drug, ibuprofen, right? And we have the diclofenac. Everything comes under the non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug. So which is being used for most of the cattle and veterinary usage. Now, in our national plan, the major target is to control this NSAID for the, cattles, because through the food chain only it enters into the vulture. So what is the major plan is, here this Vulture Conservation Action Plan will ensure that the veterinary doctors, or for the veterinary purpose, the drugs that is being used for the cattle, it should be non-toxic. At the same time, it can be a NSAID, but that should not affect the vulture. That is our main. That is, they have to find out a proper NSAID that does not kill the vulture. So for that, they are going to take the help from the Drug Controller General of India. So that's what. And apart from that, this action plan also says that in every state, at least they should have one vulture safe zone. One vulture safe zone in every state, where all the remaining vultures have to be conserved. Apart from that, in that zone, you should also create conservation measure and breeding of vulture, that is increasing the population. Okay, and apart from that, this plan also says about vulture counting. Normally, it will be conducted by our BNHS, apart from some non-profit organization, forest department. That's the third thing. So the main concern for the vulture is as I told you, NSAID. That's a main concern, my main concern. Second is some of the toxic substance. Sometimes we use some toxic substance, unintentionally we use some toxic substance. Some or other way it enters into the food chain, it goes and reaches the vulture that may kill it. And also some trading has also happened in the vulture part. So we should also prevent it. And poachers also, what they do is they also poison the vulture. So that's what all this will be controlled in the National Action Plan. So already in our CMS, the conservation of migratory species, we have already taken a vulture multi-species action plan. Okay, so it is also part of it. So the major threat, apart from the toxic as well as the non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug, some more thing is it is colliding with the power grid infrastructure. And also sometimes loss of food availability, disease is also another concern for the vulture losses. And apart from that, human activity and climate change. So these are the major factors that affects our vulture. Okay, dolphin. Okay, coming to the dolphin. So already we discussed about dolphins in the class. So here, the major dolphin is our Gangetic River dolphin. So in order to conserve the Gangetic River dolphin, we have created a dolphin research center, National Dolphin Research Center, which is going to come in the Patna. So it is going to come near the Ganga River. So probably 200 meters from the Ganga River, they are going to construct it. So hereafter, this research center is going to take all the research related activity to dolphin as well as the conservation measure. So this project dolphin, which we already started, it is in line with our, Project Tiger. So how Project Tiger conserves the tiger, the same way Project Dolphin has been done. So main idea is to increase the dolphin population. So right now, dolphin, you know that mostly it is in the Ganga River. So we know what are the threats normally associated with the dolphin. We have approximately 3,000 dolphins, and most of them, it is in the Bihar in the Gangetic. So that's what we want to further increase the dolphin population. So that's the reason we have brought this National Dolphin Research Centers. Coming to the next one, Odisha is the only state to have all three species of crocodiles. So already in the class, I told you that when you come to the crocodilian, so we have one is the mugger crocodile. Sorry. Mugger crocodile. So mugger crocodile is across India in all the lakes and ponds and the freshwater you can find. So in Odisha, mugger crocodile is found in the Bhitarkanika National Park. The second is a true crocodile or saltwater crocodile. Most of the time, saltwater crocodile is found in the eastern coast. Eastern coast near the Chilika and Bhitarkanika, we have a lot of saltwater crocodile. Apart from that, we also have gharial, but the population is very less. So once upon a time, gharial, Odisha was a natural nesting site for gharial. Okay, in 1975. But after pollution and other factors, the gharial population has come down. Okay, whatever the gharial we have introduced very long back, today none of them is alive. All the gharials which we have introduced in the Odisha has dead down. And what we have done is, a few years back, actually we have introduced gharial. Of course, some 13 more gharial we have introduced in the last 3 years or something in the Mahanadi River. So in that, 8 gharials is surviving. The rest are in the Sambal sanctuary only. So by that way, all the 3 crocodiles are in the Odisha right now. Okay, then another news related to Great Indian Bustard, which came in the thing. So Great Indian Bustard, you know that most of the time it is found in the open land. Okay, grasslands and open land, wide open land. Coming to the Great Indian Bustard, basically it is a slow moving bird. It does not have a proper vision. So the frontal vision is very poor. And of course, it will have the habit of scanning earth. So while flying over the flat grasses, the concern is it is right now, it is colliding with the power line. Okay, why the thing? Because most of the Great Indian Bustard, it survives in the open land. Okay, open region. Now, this open region is also a boom for our renewable energy, like wind energy and solar energy. So most of the wind energy, solar energy is located, solar projects and wind projects is located in the open land because it is the ideal location. Now, what happens, you see, it is coming in the way of Indian Bustard. So one side, in order to meet the Paris Agreement, we have to increase our solar and wind energy. So the best place, the ideal location is your open region. The other side, it is becoming a setback to the Bustard species. So what Wildlife Institute of India survey have done is, they have said that 80 kilometer of power line, it is crossing the Thar Desert. Rajasthan, as of now, it has killed 4 Bustard species during a single year because of the high transmission wire. Okay, most of the time the bird dies because of the electrocution or collusion. Okay, and this issue also went to the Supreme Court. So what Supreme Court has told us, Supreme Court said that, so whatever 20 gigawatt of the solar project and wind project, okay, power line, try to lie it in the underground. So that it will not disturb the Great Indian Bustard. But the thing is, if you want to keep it in the underground, you may have to spend minimum $4 billion. That is the extra cost. So that's the reason it does not seem to be feasible. So some or other way, we need to find a solution to, control this Great Indian Bustard getting affected by the power line, mostly power transmission. Then some species we will see. Blue-finned mushir. Blue-finned mushir. So we have 2 mushir in the Maharashtra. The one is the golden mushir, bluefin mushir. So what is the uniqueness is, this particular fish is conserved by Tata Group. So it's a private initiative. So the Tata Group is involved in the conservation of this bluefin and golden mushir for the last 50 years in the Lonavala. So Lonavala is a mountain in the Maharashtra. So what Tata Group has said is, this bluefin mushir has moved to the least concern. Least concern because it is removed from the red list. So earlier it was in the red list category. So right now it has moved out from the red list category. It is now in the least concern. But golden mushir, it's not so. Golden mushir, the Tata Group has said that it may become extinct in the near future. So what the Tata Group is doing is, actually Tata Group has created a lake, artificial lake in the Lonavala, where they are, conserving this mushir. So more than 5 lakh mushirs they have conserved in this Lonavala particular lake. So artificial conservation, and once they conserve, they give it to various other people for for selling and other purpose, because this particular fish has got a high market price, and also it's good for aquaculture. So they breed it and they give it to all the private, they sell it for aquaculture and everything. So the Tata Group has said that the blue-finned mushir, now it has moved out from the red list. Today it is least conserved. Whereas the golden mushir, it may become extinct in the near future. This is what they told. So it came in the news a few months back. So then one more species, Western Hillock gibbon. When you come to the ape, so we have 3 gibbon species. So the one is the Western Hillock gibbon, Skywalker gibbon, and Eastern gibbon. In India, once upon a time, we had this Eastern gibbon as well as Western Hillock gibbon. Now recently, the Center of Cellular and Molecular Biology has found that, so right now it is only this Western Hillock gibbon is found in India. Okay, so whereas the Eastern has declined, so it is in the zoo. Captive means yes, it is in the captive, but in the naturally, it is only the Western Hillock gibbon is found. So according to it, right now the status is endangered. Status is endangered. All nesting, so we can find in the news for the last Yes, it is in Assam. Okay, so now in 2021, recently we came to know that this olive ridley turtle is staying away from the Rushikulia River. So normally, it will be in the Rushikulia River for the nesting. So right now it stays a little bit away. Every year, millions of this turtle come near the mouth of Rushikulia River, so where the nesting will happen. Normally, the nesting time will be between January to May. Okay, but this year it has not. Last year it started by March. This year it is begin to start. It came as a news. So when a mass nesting comes, that is called the aribida. All right. So aribidas are nothing but the thousand of the female comes and lays the egg on the same beach where they born. There they will come and lay the egg. Okay. So what is the reason why it is staying away? The reason normally one group of scientists say that it's a very normal. Any delay in the nesting is a normal sometime. But the other group says that this atmospheric temperature in the month of May has peaked and the sand has become very hot. So probably that's the reason that the mass nesting of the olive ridley may skip. That is what they told. But actually the nesting already has skipped in few years. Please keep in mind 2002, 7, 16 and 2019. In that time, the nesting of the turtle has skipped. So that's one thing about it. Most of the time, we can find it in the Gahirimata, which I already told you, Bhitarkanika. And also the one uniqueness is in olive ridley is olive ridley does not have much nesting site. So the major nesting site is in the Gahirimata beach near the Bhitarkanika. And apart from that, we have few more in Costa Rica, Pacific, Panama, and Mexico. Apart from that, Chennai beach. Operation Olivia. So again, it came in the news. So it was started in nothing but to protect the olive ridley turtle. So every year the nesting comes by the month of, I told you, the 3-4 months. So in this month, so we should ensure that no human activity happens in the coastal region. So for that, the Indian Coast Guard has started this operation under the direction of the Ministry of Environment. This Indian Coast Guard has started this Operation Olivia. So what they do is, so round the clock surveillance, ICG, the Indian Coast Guard will do round the clock surveillance. They will use all the Coast Guard assets like vessels, aircrafts, interceptors, patrol vessels, everything. They will use it. So they will have a dedicated, they will devote their ships, aircrafts, and all to protect the olive ridley. That is what the Operation Olivia. So even between this 2020 to 21 May, so our Coast Guard has devoted. Actually, it's not needed. Just Coast Guard has devoted more than 225 ship days. 388 aircraft hours in order to protect so that no human activity does not happen. Okay. There's a news came in the olive ridley. Some of the newest creature you can see here, Himalayan Serow. This is a mammal which has been spotted in the state of Assam. It is spotted in the state of Assam. So it is found in the Manas Tiger Reserve. You can see the species. Actually, the species seems to be like a mixture of goat and deer, antelope. Okay, some or other way, this species has come. Most of the time, the species survives in the high altitude. So that's what we call it as a high altitude dweller. So normally they will be in the 2000 to 4000 meters above the sea level. Okay, now it has found in the, it is a sites, when you take the sites, trade, that is the control of the trade. Appendix 1, it is there. So today it has been spotted in Assam. Okay, Himalayan Serow. The another duck which is spotted in Assam is Mandarin Duck. Mandarin, so it's a Chinese name. So it is found only in the eastern China and southern Japan. So very, very colorful duck. Now this duck is spotted in Assam. Basically, they said that it does not regularly come to India most of the time. Last, I think 1902, it came to Assam. 1902, it came to Assam. And again, now after 118 years, now again, this particular duck has come. It's a colorful duck from the East Asia. It is not a native of India. Please keep in mind. So how they would have come? Most of the time, as I told you, this duck does not come to India, but it may join with other migratory bird and follow their migration path. So by following the migration path, some or other way, it would have landed here. Okay, so that's what it is found in the Tinsukia district of Eastern Assam. That's where it is found. Yeah, it comes in groups. Then coming to the Western Indian Ocean, a new species, again, a new population of blue whale they have found. So the scientists have recently found the evidence that there is a new population of blue whale in the Western Indian Ocean. Western Indian Ocean, actually this population is discovered for the first time. Okay, it is discovered for the first time. So normally you know that all the whales use this echolocation. Echolocation is nothing but using the low frequency sound. So they may have a poor eye. So what they do is they use a low frequency sound for navigation and also for predation, to find the prey and also to navigate, to move from one place to another place. Okay, for food and navigation, they use this low frequency sound. Now this frequency sound is audible for human, but it's not completely audible. It's only partly audible. And most of the time, these whales, they will have their own frequency of song, own frequency of the sound, which is something like a song. So every blue whale, that's what population will have its own song. Now, recently, the scientists in India, they found that in the Arabian Sea, they found that a new song, a new frequency song has been found. That means there is nothing but a new species, new blue whale species is migrating, is moving from, Oman to Madagascar via the Arabian coast. So by that way only, they said that, new population of blue whale in the Western Indian Ocean. Okay, they use a thing which is called echolocation. Blue whale, one more information. It is a very, very important species. It's a highly protected species in the CITES and also in the red list. It's an endangered species. Once upon a time, it was very abundant in the ocean, but because of the hunting, almost it reached to extinction. The next species is Malayan giant squirrel or black giant squirrel, in danger. Right now it is in danger. If you come to India, in India we have 3 squirrels. We have 3 giant squirrels. The one is the grizzled giant squirrel, which already we discussed in the class. Then Indian giant squirrel and Malayan giant squirrel. These are the 3 squirrel we have. So normally this animal, if you take this Malayan giant squirrel, it is native to Indo-Malaysia region, but it is spread across South and Southeast Asia. So now the thing is, in India, the species is spotted in the Kaziranga National Park. It is spotted in the Kaziranga National Park. Okay, now this survey is done by the Zoological Survey of India. Actually, such a survey, for the first time, ZSI has done it. So in that, they have found that even though the squirrel population is found in the Kaziranga National Park, it may become extinct because its population is declining dramatically in the Kaziranga National Park. It may become extinct in the near future. Okay, so that's about this bird. So Malayan giant squirrel. Amur falcon. So already we discussed about Amur falcon, which also came in the news. So Amur falcon, as I told you, it is a long distance migratory bird. Most of the time it comes from Siberia, it starts, it goes to South Africa. So it comes to Manipur and Nagaland. And it's in Nagaland, it will halt at Dayong Lake. It will halt at Dayong Lake. So why it will halt is, so that's the reason Nagaland is also called as Falcon capital of the world. So why it will halt is, so most of the time, this Amur falcon will spend 3 to 4 weeks in India. In this 3 to 4 weeks, it will eat a lot of food. It will forage. It will eat a lot of termites, food and all. Because once you eat it, once it eats it, what it will do is, it will fly for the next 6 days without non-stop, or of course they fly non-stop for the next 6 days, and it will cross the Arabian Sea and finally it goes to the South Africa. So that's how it is protected under the Wildlife Protection Act, but its status right now, it's only the least concern. It travels for more than 29,000 kilometers, okay, between the route between Siberia and the South Africa. So coming to the snow leopard. So we have some information. We have Project Snow Leopard. So it was created in 2009. In 2013, we have joined this GSLEP program, Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program. Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program. So basically, it is a intergovernmental alliance of 12 snow leopard range countries. So snow leopard, it is found in 12 countries. So you can see the countries: India, China, Bhutan, Nepal, Mongolia, and all. So we have joined this program in order to, because this snow leopard is a migratory species. Okay, coming to India. So it is not in the slide, just I will give it. In India, where it is found? In India, it is found in 3 landscape. It is found in 3 landscape. The one is Hemis Spiti. So Hemis Spiti, it is part of Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh. That's a one landscape you can find this snow leopard. The second landscape, you can find it in the Nanda Devi. Okay, Nanda Devi Gangotri. Nanda Devi Gangotri, it is part of Uttarakhand. The third one, it is found in the Kanchenjunga Tawang, which is part of Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so what we have planned is, there is no specific target. So under the Project Snow Leopard and also in the GSLEP, we said that in the next 5 years, we have to increase the snow leopard population. That is what they have told. So numbers wise, they didn't give any numbers. They are told. So these are the 3 landscapes. Please make note of it. Hemis Spiti, Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh, Nanda Devi Gangotri. That is part of Uttarakhand, Kanchenjunga and Tawang. So part of Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. This is where, so we have this snow leopard. And some more species which is not going in the slides, I will just give you. Leopard. Okay. So probably you would have seen in the newspaper, but anyway. So right now, leopard census. Leopard census is also taken care by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. So when they take a tiger census, they will also take a leopard census. So in that, they found, as of now, we have approximately 12,852 leopards. 12,852 leopards we have. So in 2014, the numbers was just 7,900. So that means it seems that 60% increase has happened in leopard population. 60% of leopard population increase has happened. Okay, almost in the 7 years of time. So where more leopards are found? Madhya Pradesh, order is, second is Karnataka, third is Maharashtra. These are the top 3. Okay, and also they say that now leopard population, what they have counted, is mostly from the forested tiger range. Okay, forested tiger range only we have counted, but we have not sampled. So where and all not sampled is, that is not taken as leopards not only found in the forested tiger range, leopard is also found in the non-forested. When I say non-forested, it is also found in the coffee tea plantation. It is also found in the higher elevation of Himalayas. It is also found in the arid landscape and also in the northeast, some of the landscape. Now, these and all were not sampled. Suppose if you take that into account, definitely the leopard population will be more than that. So this cat species is also increasing in India. Just please make note of it. So we have more than 12,852 numbers. Most of this 12,852 numbers, 60% increase is found in the forested tiger range. Most of the non-forested range like coffee tea plantation, higher elevation of Himalayas, arid landscape and all, we have not sampled much. Suppose if you take that into account, definitely the leopard population definitely will be more than that. So anyway, it has increased more than 60%. Then the next is another news about rhinos. Great Indian one-horn rhino, which came in the news. So already we discussed about rhinos in the class itself. When you take the rhino, in the end of 20th century, we had only 200 rhinos in the wild. But after the Rhino Vision Program, IRV 2020, we have increased the rhino population. So now 75% of rhino, one-horn rhino, one-horn rhino, it is found in the Assam, West Bengal and UP. Apart from that, you may have it in Nepal and all. Okay. And also recently, Manas. So Manas National Park has been chosen for translocation. We have taken some of the rhinos and located in Manas National Park. That we have done. And apart from this, we have launched a national conservation strategy for Indian one-horn rhino. So we want cooperation from other countries where rhino population is there, from Bhutan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Nepal. We are looking for cooperation from this country for the conservation of rhino. Anyway, 75% of the one-horn rhino, it is right now in India. Okay, so that's are the major species we have come. Okay, some of the national park that came in the news. 6th national park in Assam, Raimona National Park. Raimona National Park. So just make note of the factual information. So this is going to be the 6th national park. So it is found in the Kokrajhar district. Okay, Kokrajhar district. Basically, this is, of course, it will be part of our Manas Tiger Reserve. So this national park will have golden langur, tiger, Asian elephant, clouded leopard, okay, hornbill, spotted bear, deers, and everything. Okay, this is 6th national park. So we have a 7th national park in Assam, Dihing Patkai. Dihing Patkai. So this is a major elephant habitat. Major elephant habitat. Okay, it will be part of our Dibrugarh Forest Division. That is one. And also we have a concern in this Dihing Patkai because a lot of illegal coal mining is also happening here. illegal coal mining is happening here. The Hin Patkai. So you have to remember these names. Then the next sanctuary that came in the news is the Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, Maharashtra. Okay, basically this Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, why it came in the news is they are going to declare an eco-sensitive zone, ecological sensitive zone. This is a second marine, this Thane Sanctuary is a second marine sanctuary of Maharashtra, which is found in the, Thane, western bank of Thane Creek. So now the ministry is planning to notify 48 square kilometer of this sanctuary as an ecological sensitive zone because they don't want the development pressure. So buffer zone, I don't know, that's what. So what is this very famous? This is an important bird area. It's IBA, okay, recognized by the BirdLife International and the Bombay Natural History Society. Apart from that, it is a mangrove site. It's a mangrove site where we have a lot of birds. Okay. Then another factual, Pong Dam Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. It was the news in January 2021, almost 4, 5, 6, 7 months back, because of this bird flu. So this year it may be important. Bird flu. This Pong Dam, it's a wildlife sanctuary. It's a wetland in Himachal Pradesh. So this is a place where you can find a lot of migratory water birds, comes and goes. Here we found that in January 2001, a flu came where more than 5,000 birds got killed. 5,000 birds got killed. But anyway, the department has said that they have controlled in 2021, February itself. Controlled in 2021 itself, but they have resurfaced since late March. Okay, just a minute. They have resurfaced in the late March. So after the late March, they have again resurfaced it. They have come back. Okay, so now what is the virus? Avian influenza. So actually, the avian influenza, the previous one, it was H5N1. Previous. Now it seems to be H5N8. The National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases have confirmed that the recent death is because of H5N8. Okay, so it is a fatality. Most of the time, it will happen during the adverse weather. Adverse weather. Basically, this Pong Dam is also a Ramsar site. It's a Ramsar site. It's a wildlife sanctuary. And you can see here, this influenza is not only reported here. The influenza H5N1 and H5N8. So N8, both are very highly pathogenic. So right now it seems that H5N8 is main reason for the latest, this killing of the species. So it's found, it's already reported in Rajasthan, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, UP and all in the recent time. So they belong to the high pathogenic avian influenza. So from the science background, try to see this H5N8, H5N1. Okay, and also it seems that this outbreak, this high pathogenic outbreak also happened in Ukraine, UK and Russia. So where more than 4.8 million birds have died in December 2020. So almost 6 to 8 months back. Okay, so now it seems that Pong Dam Lake is in the high threat. Chances of getting into human, we are not very clear. May happen. Then some few months back, I think by the month of March or something, Shimli-Pal, which is Asia's second largest biosphere reserve, has got a forest fire. So this forest fire for more than 10 days. Of course, it seems that it has destroyed nearing around 1/3 of the Shimli-Pal biosphere reserve. And there are multiple news which are not very clear. They say that even though it's a biosphere reserve, normally a biosphere reserve will have a 3 zone. They said that the core zone is not affected. In one newspaper, they said core zone is not affected. But in another news, it says that 1/3 of the Shimli-Pal Biosphere Reserve is affected. And we know that Shimli-Pal National Park is a very important UNESCO declared national park in 2009. It's a biosphere reserve where you have a tiger reserve as well as you have a national park inside the biosphere reserve. Which I already told any biosphere reserve will have a 3 zone. So if you come to the core zone, most of the time it may be a tiger reserve, national park, or wildlife sanctuary. So in this, it's a biosphere reserve, it's a UNESCO recognized biosphere reserve, it's a national park, tiger reserve. So it is a home to many number of species. Okay, it's a home to many number of species. So the thing is, actually the news says that the wildlife exact causes we do not know, but climate change and illegal mining are the usual suspect. And apart from that, it is also pointed that poor administration and attitude by the forest official has worsened the situation. That's the reason the fire has spread enormously. Otherwise, it would have been controlled. So this is what they have told in the news. Then another forest fire which came in the hill, Shatrunjay Hill Reserve. Shatrunjay Hill Reserve of Gujarat. See, this is a forest area. It's a habitat of Asiatic lion. So Bhavnagar Territorial Forest Division, it comes part of Bhavnagar. So now the fire has engulfed more than 200 hectares. Sorry, 200 hectares. Anyway, it was brought control by 14th March of 2021. So it got, of course, 200 hectares that got affected in the Bhavnagar Territorial Division, Shatrunjay. This Shatrunjay is a very, very important hill reserve. So sometimes it is considered as a sacred hills by the Jains. Why in the sense is, probably in history you would have heard about Rishaba. Am I right? Trinthankara. Rishaba, you know that he's the first Trinthankara. Okay, it is said that Rishaba, the first Trinthankara, has given the first sermon in that hill. And also this Jain sacred hill of Shatrunjaya, it comprises more than 865 temples on it. So by that way, this is a very, very important hill reserve. It's nothing but a sacred hill in the Gulf. So normally where it is found is, it will be the part of Bhavnagar and the Gulf of Cambet. It will be in that. Okay, and nearby the hill, you also have a eastward flowing river, which is the Shatrunjay River. Suppose by chance if they come across Shatrunjay and all, so keep in mind. So it's related to fire, but anyway, it is related to Jain sacred hill, Jain temple, where Rishaba first Trinthankara gave his sermon. And apart from that, there is also a river for a length of 227 kilometers. So it was also in the news in 2021 March. Then the next one, Srivilliputtur Megamalai, which is the 5th tiger reserve in Tamil Nadu, recently declared. It will be part of, see, reason for fire, it's very difficult to say. So any fire, when it comes, we cannot tell the reason, exact reason. No one knows. It's a climate change, or many human activity or something. It's very difficult to ascertain the reason for the fire. Okay, coming to the Srivilliputtur Megamalai 5th tiger reserve. Basically, this tiger reserve is surrounded by the Srivilliputtur Grizzled Squirrel Wildlife Sanctuary in the Western Ghats. So keep in mind, Srivilliputtur is a grizzled squirrel wildlife sanctuary. It is surrounded by Megamalai. Actually, there is a lot of demand in this environmental demand in this area to create a tiger reserve. So which is adjoining, of course, it is adjoining to the Periyar Tiger Reserve. So that's the reason they have created this. It is also part of the Vaigai River. So it will be bordering the Periyar Tiger Reserve. Then the news is about Panna National Park. So Panna National Park, it is included in the World Network of Biosphere Reserve. So Panna Biosphere Reserve. So under the Panna Biosphere Reserve, we have a Panna Tiger in the core zone of a Panna Biosphere Reserve. We have a National Park and Tiger Reserve. So right now it is included in the World Network. Sorry. World Network of Biosphere Reserve. Okay. Okay, and that's also one important thing is this is also a controversial Ken Betwa river linking project is also going there. The next one is the small information. Bihar is planning to have its first ever migratory bird festival. So it's going to be a 3-day festival. So for the first time in India, the Bihar is going to plan, of course, in the states, Bihar is going to plan the migratory festival. So this will be jointly organized by the Bhagalpur Forest Division and also the BNHS and other local clubs and all, because this is a region where you can find a lot of migratory bird that comes between. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, this is a region where you can find a lot of migratory bird comes between November to March every year. So that's a reason in order to control the poaching and other conservation measure, they are planning to have a festival. This is going to be a 3-day festival. Okay, so normally it is going to be done in the Vikramshila Dolphin Sanctuary. Okay, where most of the migratory bird comes here. So common migratory birds that comes here, you can just have a look at it. Okay, this is a little bit old news. Bhagirathi eco-sensitive zone. So the government has planned in Uttarakshi, Bhagirathi eco-sensitive zone. So any eco-sensitive zone, if they are going to plan, the government it is mandated that the state government has to create a zonal management plan. The zonal management plan will tell, okay, how a forest will be controlled, how watershed management, irrigation, health. So what are the human activity will be allowed. So everything comes under the zonal management plan. So they have to do this zonal management plan. The reason is they are planning, of course, in the geography you would have seen, they are planning for a Chardam road project. So try to see from the geography, Chardam road project. So it falls in the part of Bhagirathi, this region, forest region. So that's the reason they are planning for a eco-sensitive zone. So to give, way for the faster execution of Chardam road project. Okay, then comes the blue flag certification. Blue flag certification. In India, we have got, the minister has said that 8 beaches in India has got blue flag certification. So which is around 5 states and 2 union territory. So what are the 8 beaches? Definitely you must see this year. There is no more chances they can ask on blue flag certification. So Sivarajpur, Gujarat, Gokla, Dayu, Kasargod and Pidubidri of Karnataka, Kapad of Kerala, Rushikonda or Vishakhapatnam, Radhanagar of Andaman Nicobar. This Karna again, it's written back. Okay, fine. And then Golden Piri. Okay, now, so we have around 8 beaches has been given. So what is the significance of it? If you see it, the one significance is this 8 beaches, we have got the certification in single attempt. At a stretch, we got it. Actually, no country has got like that. In a single attempt, normally any country, if you take, we have more than 50 countries have got this blue flag certification. So any country, if they take, they will get 1 certification or 2 certification. In a single stretch, in a single attempt, 8 beaches, it's only India. And that too, if you take a countries, most of the country will take 5 years to 6 years to get a certification. But we have got it in less than 2 years. So this is a key success. That is in a single attempt, we got 8 beaches at a stretch certification. And that too, within 2 years, we got it. Because in the first, of course, in the Asia Pacific country, within 2 years, this is the only country, India is the only country who has got it. Because most of the other country took minimum 5 to 6 years to get it. Okay, and we also have a future plan. So it's right now 8 beaches. Future, we will bring 100 blue flag beaches. Okay, normally, what is the benefit of getting a blue flag? Blue flag, it's a clean, hygiene beach. At the same time, it supports livelihood program. So it will also have all amusement and everything. Okay, So it will ensure. Now, in this regard, India, we have our own eco label. For the conservation of coastal ecosystem, we have our own eco label called BEAMS. So please make note it, BEAMS. So BEAMS is called, it is Beach, Environment and Aesthetic Management Services. It's called BEAMS. Actually, it comes under Integrated Coastal Zonal Management Project. So for all the coastal conservation, we have our own eco label called BEAMS. Actually, it comes under the Integrated Coastal Zonal Management Project. So do you know when this coastal project was created? Actually, it is created in the 1992 Earth Summit. So I hope that you remember this 1992 Earth Summit. In the 1992 Earth Summit only, globally, all the countries decided to create a project, IC is a term, Integrated Coastal Zonal Management, to control, that is nothing but to sustainable development of coastal area. So under this, we have done many actions. Under the BEAMS, we have done many actions. Out of that, the one is the blue flag. Okay. So the main objective of BEAMS program is to achieve the Integrated Coastal Zonal Management Project, which was, which was signed in the 1992 Earth Summit. So under the BEAMS program, we are doing many activity. Normally what they do is we control pollution, we develop the beach facility, okay, we make it clean, standards, hygiene, everything we bring it. So under this, one project is blue flag certification. So right now we have got a blue flag certification for 8 beaches. Okay. So, okay, break. Okay, fine. So we'll take some 5 minutes break. So we have much more information on, we have some more information on this biodiversity, and we have to see climate change and pollution. Okay, so we'll take some 5 minutes break and then again we'll start. Okay, so we shall start. See, Kasaragod beach is a part of Karnataka only. Okay, so it's not in Kerala. For jurisdiction, it comes as a Karnataka. See, Amur Falcon, most of the time, Amur Falcon, you can only see it in the northeast. Bihar side, it's very difficult to see. I think so. So yeah, basically it's a two. It will be the second bird festival if Bihar conducts the bird festival. That's right. Kasaragod beach is Karnataka. Okay, now let's little bit rush fast. Blue tide phenomena. I told you. So they found a light in the beach, Maharashtra coast. So even it is also found in the Besanagar beach and all. So it is nothing but a dinoflagellate. Please keep in mind, a dinoflagellate, a phytoplankton, is emitting its own light, which is bioluminescence. So that is where you are seeing this blue tide phenomena. It is nothing but a lighting. And also it said that this light, it is not produced by the organism themselves. It is produced by a symbiotic bacteria. In many cases, some cases, they may have their own light itself. So now it emits the light. So possibly why this phenomena happens, very simple. It is because of the high nitrogen content. And also sometimes low oxygen. When nitrogen content increases, nitrogen and phosphate increases, nutrition increases, obviously what happens, you see, this dinoflagellate multiplies, proliferates. Because of that, it gives light. So by that way, it destabilizes the ecosystem. So this, I think we already said. There is a project called Trace BioMe project. It's a project, it is supported by CSER. So it's part of your science and technology. So what is the object of the project is very simple. The object of the project in ocean ecosystem, we want to map, we want to find out the effect of micronutrients. We want to find out the effect of micronutrients and the metal, trace metals. So we need to know in Indian Ocean how much of trace metals is getting deposited, micronutrients is getting deposited. So by that way, we can predict or sample how the phytoplankton growth and the other organism growth in the Indian Ocean. So it's a science project. Okay. The next one is Cabinet approves Deep Ocean Mission. Okay, so it is also part of science. So it's not even since it's related to aquatic biome, I'm just taking it. What is a deep ocean mission? It is nothing but exploration of deep sea for various resources. You know that in our Indian Ocean, we have an exclusive economic zone and also continental shelf where we can explore. In this exclusive economic zone and as well as in the continental shelf, we can go to the deep, we can drill and we can take some minerals. So what are the normal mineral? Most of the time it is polymetallic nodal. Polymetallic nodal. Okay, all the slides I will share to you, don't worry. So maximum today night or probably tomorrow afternoon, before tomorrow afternoon, they will share the slides. You can see in detail. If it's a major current affair, a little bit I'll spend more time. So if it is a minor of current affair, probably I will little bit rush it fast. So the mission job is to explore our deep ocean, especially our exclusive economic zone, as well as the continental shelf, where we can take resources, especially we can get a lot of rare earth minerals, lanthanides and all. So here we can get some nickel, manganese, copper, cobalt, iron hydroxide. Basically, these metals are used in electronic devices, smartphones, solar panels, and batteries. So that is the main objective of this. So it is also part of the International Seabed Authority, ISA. International Seabed Authority will take care of it. So in order to facilitate it, we do it. So of course, such a technology, deep ocean drilling. Actually, this technology right now, it's available in Russia, US, France, Japan, and China. So India will be the 6th country to join this. So we'll be doing this deep ocean mining. It's another small news. So it came few months back, by the month of last year. The Ministry of Environment has told that anyone who has any exotic animal, you can come and voluntarily disclose it. It is called one-time voluntary disclosure scheme. So now you will not be punished or anything. So whatever animal you have, so any type of animal, so probably it could have been acquired illegally or it has been owned without a document. So what you have to do is, once this particular notification is passed, the scheme is passed, so within 30 days of the possession of the animal, you have to come to the chief life warden and you have to inform about the animal, probably your acquisition, the change of possession if you have sold to anyone, or probably the particular species have been died, anything, or finally you need to surrender the animal to the zoo. Okay, you have to tell the details and everything. So why we have to bring is specifically to control the zoonotic disease. This is the main thing. And also to comply with our sites. So exotic species. So that's what the scheme was brought. Now we have some reports. So the first report is UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration Report. This report is created by UNEP and FAO. UNEP and FAO. Okay, so this is a report for 2021 to 2030. So what this report says is very simple. They say that nation has to commit, all the nation has to commit to restore 1 billion hectare of land. 1 billion hectare of land, I can say that it will be a size of a China. So the next decade, China. In the next 10 years, all the country minimum you need to commit 1 billion hectare, nothing but equal to a size of a China. You need to do it. So why the report says is, they say that the world is facing multiple threats, especially from pollution, climate change, loss of nature, biodiversity loss. So when this goes on, we will be losing a lot of ecosystem services. And the second thing is, the report also says, right now we are using ecosystem services, which is 1.6 times than the nature can provide. So always what the nature ecosystem services provide, that is what we can take it. But we are taking 1 point, they are calculated, humanity is using 1.6 times the nature, a number of services the nature can provide. So obviously we are exploiting it. We are going beyond the carrying capacity of the ecosystem. So that's what they say. And also the conservation effort, whatever we do, will not be sufficient to prevent the ecosystem collapse or the biodiversity loss. And so they say that most of the people, more than poorest people of the world, marginalized people, are surviving in the 2 billion hectares of land. So that's the reason, to start with, initially we need to restore this 1 billion hectare of land. That is what the report says. So UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration Report is given by UNEP and FAO. Okay. Then there is another news. It came in the international news. Amazon rainforest emits more carbon dioxide than it absorbs. So that means today Amazon forest as a carbon sink is declining. So it is done by the National Institute of Space Research. They have collected some information. So through some various satellite pictures as well as through flights and all, what they have found is, in the Amazon forest, the 4 region is within the Amazon forest, the 4 region is emitting 410 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. Is emitting. Why? Because of deforestation, wildfire, climate change and all. But how much the region is absorbing the carbon dioxide is only 120 metric ton is absorbed by the Amazon forest. So one side, 410 million metric tons of carbon dioxide is released because of deforestation, wildfire, climate change and other factor, human activity. But whereas as a forest, every forest will absorb the carbon dioxide as a carbon sink. So, but it's absorbing is only 120. The gap is 290. So that means rainforest is losing its capacity. That's what it means. Then comes our 2020 Global Biodiversity Framework, post 2020. So I hope you remember the CBD convention. In the CBD convention, we have signed a Aichi target, Aichi 20 target, which is nothing but our, am I right, national biodiversity target. We have created into 12 national biodiversity target. So we have achieved it in 2020. We all countries say that we have achieved it. That's the reason 2020 is called a super year of biodiversity. So after this, we are going for a new framework, which is called post 2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. So right now they have created a draft framework. That's all. So what the draft framework is? This draft framework is based on the Global Biodiversity Outlook. So actually, CBD, under this we have signed Aichi target, 20 Aichi target. So by 2020. So it is completed. So once it is completed, CBD itself released a report which is called Global Outlook, Global Biodiversity Outlook Report. So actually, I told in the class, if you remember, so this report says that none of the target has been achieved fully. It's only 1 or 2 targets have been achieved because of lack of financial thing and also lack of practical, planning. So that is what it told. So now based on this only, we have created a new framework. Just a minute. Yes. Yes, any doubts? Okay. So this report is created by the Global Biodiversity Outlook report. This report clearly says that Aichi target is not achieved fully. But anyway, so it is over. 2020 is over. Now we are going for a new framework. That is what is called post 2020. So what this framework says is, this framework has, now it's only a draft framework. It's not completed. So they say that there will be a 21 target for 2030. There will be 21 target. So in that, the major key feature is, so we are going to conserve 30% of land and sea area. We are going to conserve 30% of land and sea area. And also under the new framework, they said that we are going to reduce 50% of the invasive species. The alien species we are going to control. Okay. Apart from that, they also said that we are going to reduce the nutrient loss to the environment by 50%. 50%, and pesticide by 2/3. Okay. And we are going to completely eliminate plastic waste. Okay. So this is a target they have given it in the post 2020 biodiversity framework. Okay. Still it's in the draft. So probably, when I share it, you can have a look at it. It's not needed. So this is a old report, State of India's 2020 report. And also that you can have a look at it when I share it. And State of Forest report of 2019. So right now, every 2 years, the State of Forest report will come. So this year, 2021, it has to come yet. So most of the time in this exam, you may not get it. There may be chances that 2019, they may ask. Okay. So here, it is very self-explanatory. I've told you forest cover area-wise, top to bottom. So top 5, percentage-wise, which is top 5. So just given, it's a factual information. So when I give the slide, you can have a look at it. Okay. So it's not needed. Okay. So with this biodiversity, I think we can a little bit close down. So because otherwise it will take more time. Now we will get into pollution. So pollution, last news related to air pollution. So what we have done in this 1 year, now we have created a commission for air quality management. So the President of India has promulgated an ordinance to create a commission. So that is called Air Quality Commission for Air Quality Management, or Commission for Air Quality Management. CAQM. Okay, so why this commission was formed is, this commission basically formed for the control of stubble burning. We know the menace of stubble burning. So we have a biggest problem in the stubble burning. So anyway, first we'll see the commission. So initially they formed a panel. Anyway, the Supreme Court asked to create a panel. So for that they created a panel. Later they, of course, abolished the panel and they passed the ordinance to create a commission for air quality. So this is for national capital region and areas adjoining it. Okay, now what the commission will do is, the first thing is, they have, after bringing this commission, they have removed this EPCA. So in the class I told you, environmental pollution, environmental pollution prevention and control authority. All right, so that was removed. That was replaced by this commission. So this commission major target is to control the stubble burning. Okay, this commission, what they will do, of course, maintain the air quality index. They will work on research, better coordination, identification, problems and all they'll do. So of course, this commission will have a chairperson, and also it will include the members of states of Punjab, adjoining area, Punjab, Delhi, Haryana, UP and Rajasthan. Okay, and also it will have a members of Central Pollution Control Board and ISRO, Space Research Organization. So this commission will keep the standards and everything, parameters, everything for the environmental pollutions and pollutants. So they only will direct the Central Pollution Control Board and everything. And any complaint that comes, everything will be taken by the commission. Okay, so this commission will also have a subcommittee like monitoring and identification committee, research and development committee, safeguarding and enforcement. Okay, so it is replacing the EPCA. So the background where it is, so October 2020, so the government of India informed the Supreme Court that a permanent body will be constituted to handle air pollution, especially that is caused by the stubble burning. So based on that only, they created a panel. Later point of time, they created this commission itself. Okay, so it will be replacing the EPCA, Environmental Pollution Prevention and Control Authority. So the commission will have a chairperson. So most of the time, who is a high official, Secretary of the Government of India or the Chief Secretary of a state. Okay. So hereafter, they will give, like EPCA, they will work on it. Okay, stubble burning is a major concern. So already we discussed a lot about stubble burning. Okay, the problem with the stubble burning is, as I told you, stubble burning, all the pollutant enters into the Delhi. The main concern is only in the winter time. Winter time in the northern state, especially Delhi. Okay, because what happens, you see, geographically, winter time, you know that it is a cold, dry air. Cold, dry air, and also you will have a inversion of temperature and also the low wind condition. Most of the time, this air will become stagnant. And because of that only, any wind blows from the northern side and northwestern and all the pollution will get combined and becomes a fog, and it stays in the lower level itself, in the lower tropospheric levels. That is what, because of the cold dry wind always comes down. So normally every pollutant, everything will be settling in the lower level. So during winter, definitely you can find heavy smog formation. Okay, so that is what the stubble is contributing. And also keep in mind, stubble is alone not contributing. Apart from that, the commission itself says that, the Air Quality Commission itself says that apart from stubble, thermal power plants, construction and demolition, automobile vehicles, all other sources. So anyway, stubble is a major concern. So in the class, we discussed what are the various ways of controlling the stubble. So we discussed about the various method, but now we have brought an innovative method, which is called PUSA. That is biodecomposer spraying to counter stubble. So actually it is developed by Indian Agriculture Research Institute. Okay, what is this pusa? If you ask me, basically a pusa, it's a microbe, it's a capsule. It's nothing but a capsule, tablet. It's a just nothing but a tablet capsule, which is a fungi strain, Now what we need to do is this capsule. If you just take 4 capsule, which will be cost one capsule, I think it's around 5 rupees or something. Take 4 capsule. This 4 capsule, you have to mix it in a 25-liter water, 25-liter solution. So I think they are using this jaggery and the chickpea and all. They will use it. They will do some mixture. So just take 4 capsule, which you cost 20 rupees. Mix it in a mixture, like a liquid solution, using some jaggery and all. And then what you have to do is you have to spray it on the land. So wherever used land, rice paddy land, whichever the stubble, you have to do it. So this mixture is sufficient to cover 1 hectare of land. Okay, this mixture is sufficient to cover. Anyway, the preparation of this capsule, I think it will take 8 to 10 days. Minimum 7 to 10 days it will take. So not in one day they can do it. You need to take a capsule, you need to mix it with water, and then they use some jaggery, chickpea and all. And then you have to ferment it. I think that fermentation will take some 5 days or 7 days, 8 days to 10 days. So once it is fermented, you have to spray it on the stubble, on the land itself. Now, once you do it, it will decompose. Normally, if any stubble has to get decomposed, it will take more than 45 to 50 days. Minimum, it will take 60, 70 days, which is not possible. Because the next, after the rice paddy cultivation, you have to go for a wheat cultivation. So you will not have much time. So 20 days or something, it's okay. So now what you have to do is, you can take 20 days time. So of course, if you spray this particular, liquid, within 20 days of time, the degradation will become fast and it will be completely degraded. Now, obviously, you can go for the next cultivation. You can prepare it and go for the next cultivation. That's all. That is how it is. It will rapidly degrade our stubbles, especially the rice paddy stubble. So what is the benefit? Yes, it's a decomposer. Fungi is a decomposer. It will improve the fertility, productivity of the soil. So stubble you don't want to burn. Of course, you can convert the stubble into manure itself. And at the same time, it is also preventing your soil. It's also preventing the loss of soil richness. Because when you burn a land, you know that a lot of bacteria will be killed. Now all the bacteria is not destroyed. It is very, very cheap, effective, am I right? Very, very practical. All right. So once you are going to cultivate once the harvesting comes, by the time, you can make your spray ready, the pusa spray ready, then spray it, wait for 20 days of time, and then do it. So it's eco-friendly, environmental sound method. Then this also, it will make us to achieve the Swachh Bharat mission. So by that way, this pusa will be a better thing. Okay, so it's called pusa microbial decomposer capsule. This is not needed. Okay, the next is, sorry. Apart from this, the central government also taken many actions. Like they have closed down the 2 power plant, Badarpur power plant and Sonipat power plant. Okay, so many actions the government has taken. So in that line, you know that we have gone for BS6. So in the class itself, we have discussed more about BS6 and BS4. So why we have to go for BS6? What are the benefits of BS6? So sulfur content is going to reduce, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carcinogen, particulate matter, okay, carbon monoxide and all is going to get reduced. So in the class, when we discussed about the old car, we had an issue of scrapping. Because April 2020, we have to go for a BS6 car. So what is the status of BS4 car? So we didn't discuss that issue in the class. So the guy I told you in the class, the government is planning for a scrapping policy. Now we will discuss what is that scrapping policy. What is the scrap policy? Vehicle scrapping policy. So this March 18th, 2021, in the Lok Sabha, okay, the roadways minister has said vehicle scrapping policy the government is bringing. Of course, later by August, the prime minister also told that scrapping policy will be in force. Okay, what is that scrapping policy? How it will work? please understand some key points. Sometimes there is more chances they can ask you. The first thing is scrapping policy. Scrapping means this is you cannot use it. So any vehicle, you take any car, private vehicle or commercial vehicle, it will have a lifetime, registration time. So I think registration time is for 10 years or something. For our personal car, it is for 15 years, it is for 10 years. After that, it has to go for a re-registration. You need to get a fitness certificate, you need to go for a re-registration. Every 5 years, you give a re-registration. This is what earlier. But hereafter, actually this process will be same. But the thing is, they will not, if it is a BS4 car, most of the time, they will not allow you to do this. They will allow you to do it, but you will have lot of disincentive to have this BS4 car. Okay, how they will do it? Now let's see. First thing you need to understand, this basic idea of vehicle scrapping is to scrap all the old vehicle, especially the BS4 vehicles, BS4 or BS3, whatever the vehicle, so that we want to control our pollution level. Vehicular emission we want to control. We want to phase out all the unfit, old and polluting vehicle, whatever the vehicle may be. Okay, now scrapping of vehicle, please understand, it is a voluntary. Okay, it is a voluntary, but you have to undergo mandatorily a fitness test after the registration cycle is over. Okay, why they say that it is voluntary, you want to go means, because sometimes you may have a well-maintained classical vintage car. There is a vintage car, old cars, classical cars and all you may have. So we cannot scrap it, so that we can use it, provided if you are able to maintain it. So that's the reason they term it as a voluntary. The scheme is a voluntary, but any car, if the registration period is over, mandatorily you have to take it for a fitness test. Okay, for that, what the government is going to do? The first is the government will set up infrastructure under the scrapping policy. The government will have automated testing station where they will test your car, whether it is fit or not. Second is registered vehicle scrapping facility. So this is the government has to bring. So across India, the central government has to bring the testing station as well as to bring the registration vehicle scrapping facility. Now, how they are going to do is, this is going to start from April 1, 2023 for heavy commercial vehicle. Okay. For other vehicle, that is private vehicle, cars and all, you can start it from June 1, 2024. Okay, this is what we are going to start. So they have said that if your vehicle has gone more than 20 years, old vehicle has gone more than 20 years, you have to take it to the automated testing station. If it's a commercial vehicle like the lorries and all, if 15 years, if it is 15 years, you have to take it to the testing station. Now, in the testing station, your car will be tested. So they will have some criteria. That criteria has to be met. Suppose if the criteria, your car is not a polluting car, your car is good condition, the engine is in good condition, the pollutants like nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, particulate matter is in well-controlled limit, then there is a chances that they will give you the registration. Okay, they will allow you the registration. They will allow you the re-registration. You can use the car for the next 5 years. Okay, but even though it is a case, there will be a lot of disincentives. What is the disincentive is? They say that if it's a commercial car, the renewal fees will be 62 times than what right now you have. If it is a private car or something, it will be 8 times. So most of the time, it is a disincentive. You will not do it. So old vehicle, after the period of 15 years or 20 years, if you go for re-registration, after the testing station, if it has been found that the vehicle is fit, then the fees what the government is going to collect from you is very high. The registration fees what they are going to collect is very high. Apart from that, they will also put a green tax. So ultimately, the cost is going to increase. Many people will not prefer it. So in fact, in order to disincentivize, they may do it. Sometimes if the car is a vintage car or something, If you're rich, you may pay the money and you may do it. But normal common man, it may be a disincentive for them. But anyway, please keep in mind, it is what it is. See, the scrap also say, the policy says, the new scrappage policy does not consider the age of the vehicle, but instead prioritize its fitness check result from fitness station. So that means if it is 10 years is over, 15 years is over, does not mean that it will be scrapped. Not like that. So they never say like that in the vehicle scrapping policy. They say that whatever the period is over, if it is a vehicle, right now you get a vehicle, after 15 years or after 10 years, you have to go for an automated testing session. Now all the old car, 2023, 2024, 20 years, 15 years time is given. So after that, in the testing station, you take up, if you are able to prove your car is good condition, your engine is in good condition, they may give a registration for 5 years. Okay, for 5 years. But in order to disincentivize you, in order to discourage you, they will put a lot of green tax, they will put a lot of renewal fees, 62 times renewal fees and everything. Okay, that becomes a problem for us. That many people will not prefer it. Suppose your car is around 10 years, 15 years old. Let me say your personal car is something 15 years. So now you go to a registration, you go to automated testing station. So now they first test, they're just test it in the first time. In the first time, it becomes unfit. Now they will give you another 2 more opportunity. Second time, third time. That is totally, they will give you 3 times. So first time you go, your car becomes unfit, does not mean that it will become immediately unfit. No, you can take your car back. You can do modification in your car, whatever you want. You can again bring it to the testing station for the second time check. Even you can bring it to the fitness test for the third time. So 3 times they will give you opportunity for your car to test it. So if all the 3 times, if it becomes unfit, then that's it. They will put a seal on it. The owner cannot drive it. Within the 3 times, if you are able to prove that your car is in good condition, fine, you will get another 5 years. But anyway, you have to pay the renewal fees, 62 times renewal fees. If it's a commercial vehicle, 8 times, and apart from the green tax, everything they will put it. Okay, so you have to pay for it. That is what it comes. Okay. Then, okay, suppose, assume that your car is going to get scrapped. So you take it to a testing station. Finally, your car is going to become scrap. Your car cannot be used. So what you have to do with the car? Okay. So now it will be taken to the registration. It will be taken to the registered vehicle scrapping facility. Immediately they will give a certificate. So what is the scrap value is? They will give you 4 to 6% of ex-showroom price of the vehicle. Okay. So suppose you are going to buy a 10 lakh car. So in this 4 to 6% scrap value, you can reduce. So 5%, 50,000 rupees or 60,000 rupees. Okay, when you get a new car, you will reduce it. You can get it. Apart from that, a manufacturer, once you show a scrappage certificate, okay, scrappage certificate, you will also get a discount of 5% in the new purchase of the car. Okay, so 5% of the new purchase car. So totally, that means 5% here, 4 to 5%, here 5%. So 10% will be, you'll be getting back. That means you are going to buy a new car, 10 lakh rupees car. Na? Just for an example, I'm telling 1 lakh rupee discount you'll get. In that scrap value, 4 to 6%, the manufacturer has to give you 5% discount. So here again, there's a lot of problems. The manufacturer says it. So the manufacturer says that already steel prices, everything is going high. So how I can give 5% discount? That is what the manufacturer says. But the government said that under the scrappage policy, you have to give it. But anyway, because there are people are scrapping the old car and they're getting a new car. All right. So that's what. So that is the reason the government has told manufacturer mandatorily has to give a discount of 5% for the purchase of any new vehicle. Okay, once the customer provides a scrappage certificate. Okay. Apart from that, registration. So in any vehicle, if you buy, you need to pay a registration tax. Am I right? Road tax and all. In that 25% rebate they will give you. Suppose assume that you are paying 20,000 rupees tax now, 25%. So approximately 5,000 rupees will be waived off. It will be waived off. So now scrappage policy, it's going to be a boost for the automobile industry, metal industry, because what we are doing is, so we are getting rid of the old car, we are buying a new car. So for the auto industry, it is a boost. It's a very good boost. Apart from that, okay, for the customer point of view, it is going to be a loss only. Anyway, we are losing the old car. Apart from that, pollution and all will get controlled. This is how scrap policy will work. So major features of scrap policy. See, any agriculture, any commercial automobile, so it may be agriculture or anything. See, yes, registration fees, suppose if they are charging 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees into 60 times. That is what they said. Value, we do not know what is a clear value. So in the various newspapers, Autocar, in that Autocar website, they told that the renewal fees for a commercial vehicle can go up to UPTO, up to 62 times. Private vehicle, it can go up to 8 times. Okay, apart from that, they are also going to give some concession. It's not given in many material. They are also going to give concession in the GST. Okay, so by and large, this is how vehicle scrap policy will work. So by chance, if your car has become, the registration period is over, definitely we may have to scrap our car, or we can also continue our car by taking to automotive, that is by the testing center, but we have to pay green tax and all. Okay, so that's what green tax. So green tax, the Ministry of Road Transport has brought it. So in order to reduce the pollution level, that is nothing but polluter pay principle, they are going to collect a green tax. See, this is a two-wheeler. I think two-wheeler, I'm not sure about two-wheeler. Anyway, I will check it out. It is for four-wheelers, sure, for four-wheelers. All car, any car, whether it's a government vehicle or not, it doesn't matter. Any car. Okay. Two-wheeler, I think two-wheeler may not be a concern. I'm not sure about two-wheeler. It is for personal cars as well as commercial vehicle, lorries and all. Okay, if you buy a new car, that is what I told. No, if you buy a new car, very simple, you will get a what? If you give your old car 4 to 6% ex-showroom value, they will give you. Okay, and then they will give you additional 5% discount. So you take the certificate. When you get the certificate, when you give the old car, the old car will be taken by the registered vehicle scrapping facility. They will immediately provide you anywhere around 4 to 6% of the ex-showroom price. So 4 to 6% definitely will be very less only, 50,000 or something. It may come, depends on the car model and everything. Okay, apart from that, that particular certificate, they will also provide a certificate. That certificate you show to a new manufacturer, a new car or something. You want to purchase a Hyundai car, go to the Hyundai showroom, show that certificate, you will get another 5% discount. Apart from that, in the tax also, you will get some discount. Okay, and registration tax, road tax and all, you will get some 25% discount. And I think GST also, they will give some discount. So all put together, they will give a discount of around, 1 lakh or something. Depends on the car, model, size and everything. It is for four-wheelers mostly. Renewal, it's up to the people. So if the renewal fees, green tax fees and all, if it is okay for them, they can renew, they can hold it. Otherwise, they have to scrap it and get a new car. So that's how the idea comes. So it promotes a lot of automobile company. That is what. Okay, so the green tax. No, single car. See, if you scrap one car, they will give you one certificate. With that, you can only get one car. How can you get 2-3 cars? No, it's not possible. I'm right. If you have a Hyundai car, now scrap that car, you will get a scrap certificate. With that, you can get any one car. You cannot show the scrap certificate for 5 car or 6 car and all. No, that they will not allow it. That benefit is only for one car, because the manufacturer, the company is giving 5% discount. Am I right? So if it is a 10 lakh car, so 5% means 50,000, 60,000 discount directly they are giving it, apart from the company's discount. Okay, so the green tax is an additional tax on the old vehicle, specifically for the old vehicle where it is not no more fit on the road. So basically, the idea is to motivate the people to switch over to friendly alternative, nothing but hybrid car or e-vehicle. So FAME scheme and all we have, that is what. So basically, whatever the revenue they collect from the green tax, that will be put in the separate account. Okay, and that money will be used for the, control of pollution. Okay. Normally, green tax and all for public transports and all, city buses and all, green tax will be less because it's a public transport. That's the reason. Okay, and apart from that, for tractors and all, harvesters, tractors and all, they will go for exemption. Because tractors, farmers and all, they will have some incentive, they will go for exemption. What government will do with a scrapped vehicle? What they will do? Today, what we are talking about circular economy, am I right? National resource efficiency policy, we will see. We want to reuse it. Okay, so we will see it, recycle it. Okay. Rat hole mining. Actually, it's an old issue, but again, it came out recently by March 15th of 2021. The National Green Tribunal has established an oversight committee on this. Of course, they had 12-member committee to control this rat hole mining. See, in Meghalaya, for a long period of time, under, let me say, mountain. Assume there's a Meghalaya mountain, Jayanti, Kasi Hills and all. So you know that the Northeast mountain also has a, no, we will suggest to come. The Northeast will also have Northeast has a lot of coal. So here, what they do is, they used to dig a small hole. That is nothing but a rat hole. Inside the rat hole, it's only one man can go inside. He will crawl and go inside and he will take the coal and put it outside. It is called rat hole mining. So normally if you take a small tunnel, it is only 3 to 4 feet. Just only one worker, he can go inside, he can take it and bring it outside. Okay, this hole will fit only one person. It's a illegal mining, which was happening for a long period of time. It's called rat hole mining. So it is very famous in Meghalaya. Even though it is illegal mining, most of the coal that is taken from the rat hole, taken from the mountain, it is sold in the Bangladesh. Actually, Bangladesh, the thermal power plant runs only with this rat hole mining. So actually the issue came 8-9 years back itself. What happened, you see, let me say it's a highway. In a highway, assume this is a mountain. So let me say it's a highway. So they will dig a small hole. They will go inside deeper. They will take it and put it in the roadside highway. So when the lorry passes by, it will take it and it will go to the Bangladesh border and they will do it. Even though it's illegal, it's happening legally, even though it's illegal. So normally there's a lot of things. People will go inside. Sometimes they may get trapped. Sometimes collapse will happen. So a lot of risk associated with this rat hole mining. It's not a government authorized. It's illegal. The case 8-9 years back, what happened? You see, whatever they take it from the coal from the rat hole, they will pile it in the roadside. Now, when any rainfall happens, what happens? You see, it will mix in the coal, and also coal will have sulfur content that will leach into the ground well. So one environmental NGO conservation activist, he has taken a sample of water from the nearby lake and also from the well, and he showed that because of the rat hole mining, because of the coal is being put in the roadside, it is mixing in the rainwater, because Meghalaya is seeing a lot of rainfall and it is polluting the environment. So from that time onwards only, Supreme Court intervened and said that this rat hole mining should be completely banned. Even though it was immediately the government has banned it, but from the Bangladesh, the envoy, the ambassador from the Bangladesh, they came and requested to continue this rat hole mining, because the major source of their thermal power plant, of course, their main thermal power plant runs only in this rat hole mining. So that's how the issue came. Now it's going for last 6 to 7 years. And you see, this NGT have brought, by 2021 of March, they brought 12 members to prevent this unregulated and unscientific mining in Meghalaya. It's nothing but rat hole mining. So even though the Meghalaya government has put a ban, but still it is happening. Okay. Then the recent news came from a Greenpeace NGO. Delhi's nitrogen dioxide pollution has rose by 125%. So they have said that in the last 1 year in the Delhi, 125% of nitrogen dioxide pollution have increased. So the analysis is done in the 8 popular cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Jaipur, and Lucknow. So it seems that it has increased 125%, Hyderabad 69%, Chennai 94% increase has happened, Bangalore 90% increase has happened. So nitrogen dioxide level is keep on increasing. The same case of a sulfur dioxide, especially from the thermal power plant. So here, the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, they said that the sulfur dioxide level, of course, in India, it's declined. Comparatively, it is declined, but still India is one of the largest emitter of sulfur dioxide from the thermal power plant. Actually, in order to control this only, the Supreme Court already, some 3-4 years back itself, already told that all the thermal power plant should have a clean technology called flue gas desulfurization. This flue gas desulfurization, FGD, actually the flue gas desulfurization, what it does is it controls the sulfur dioxide. They remove the sulfur dioxide so that the exhaust does not have it. Initially, the deadline for this FGD is 2017. So the government of India many years back said that, okay, before 2017, all the thermal power plant, we will install this FGD so that we will control. But anyway, we couldn't do it. Now the government has changed the deadline into 2022, next year. So still it is pending. Okay, that's another news. River Yamuna floating. It's nothing but, so it's a very simple concept. You know that ammonia, phosphorus and all, detergents and all from the household, any untreated, when it enters into the river. So you know that when the river movement happens, that time lot of bubbles happen. That's called frothing. Foams is getting created. So the entire river Yamuna frothing is happening purely because of the man-made activity, nothing but detergents, phosphorus, ammonia entry. Okay, and apart from the sewage and all. And it seems that 90% of the domestic waste in the city only flows, Delhi, it's only flows in the Yamuna river. So Yamuna river is getting more polluted. Domestic wastage is the major one. Okay, and also 58% of the waste of the national capital is also dumped in the river. Okay, some few data is given. So exam wise, they will not ask you for the data, but you can have a look at it. How much phosphate content has increased. The next issue is arsenic affected habitation in India has increased by 145% in the last 5 years. Okay, so here, when I say arsenic affected habitation, it is nothing but lakes, water ponds, and groundwater. So of late, the arsenic content in the water is increasing. So where and all, of course, mainly in Bihar, Assam, Punjab, West Bengal, and UP. Okay, so Jharkhand and all, earlier it was not there, but now some 2 habitation has come. In Karnataka, earlier 2015 it has got, but today it is not there. But most of the arsenic habitation, it is found in the Ganga and Brahmaputra plain. Of course, Assam has the highest share. So you know that arsenic, basically it will have a lot of impact, right? So already we discussed about it. So if you see this arsenic, so basically arsenic, what it will do is, it can create a skin cancer, poisoning, nervous system poisoning, skin lesions and skin cancer will create. Of course, it will affect that thing. So comparatively, West Bengal is the highest concentration of arsenic in groundwater. And the next one is, it's also a little bit older news. The Central Water Commission released a report that heavy metal contamination is more. That is 2/3 of the water quality stations. We found that in 2/3 of the water quality station, we find that one or more heavy metal is present. So the study has done in 67 rivers in 20 river basins. So in that they found that the major heavy metals, iron, lead, nickel, chromium, cadmium, copper, okay, is very high. So that time, okay, zinc level, of course, arsenic and zinc level, all are very high. Okay, now arsenic contamination is a major problems right now we have. It's a heavy metal contamination. Okay, the next comes the plastic waste management rules of 2021. A new rules. So now the new rules, it's a draft only. The new rule says that is applicable to all the brand owners, plastic waste processors, recyclers, co-processors, everything. And now they have brought a new definitions in the rules, that is non-woven plastic bags, plastic waste processing, single-use plastics, thermoplastics, thermoset plastics. Okay, so you need to only know the major feature. The major feature is, first thing is, hereafter all the carry bags should be made with 120 microns. So earlier it is 50 microns. Earlier it was 50 microns. Today from 50 microns, it has been increased. It has been proposed to increase the thickness to 120 micron. Second is, the single-use plastic should be completely banned from 2022. So it includes all ice cream sticks, thermocol, plastic flags, candy sticks, balloons, everything. Okay, now it is open for public suggestion, so people have to come. This is a two major feature is done. So already plastics, we have brought this EPR. I hope you will remember this EPR, extended producer responsibility. So extended producer responsibility has been included in this plastic waste. Initially, it was brought for the e-waste. Some basic facts is given. So it's not needed. Okay, so now we will move on to the climate change. So coming to the climate change, we have completely discussed the climate change in the class itself. So till Paris Agreement and the last talk, I'm right, till the latest conference of party we have discussed. So the next conference of party 2025, actually 2020, that is 26 COP 226 is going to be the November 21, 2021 in Glasgow, okay, in Scotland. Okay, so what is happening already? We know in the class I told you the clear picture. What is the Paris Agreement? So what is our nationally determined contribution to the Paris Agreement? And in between that, what are the other countries' stand? So what is our stand? Our stand, we are very clear that we have to achieve the Paris Agreement. In order to achieve the Paris Agreement, what we need is the finance. Am I right? The Green Climate Fund should receive finance. The second is technology transfer has to happen. And everyone wants to take commitment, NDC commitment. So when come to the NDC commitment, India has given our NDC commitment 33 to 35%, you know that. And India also says that the commitment what we have given is something which is the best commitment. And India told that we cannot give more commitment beyond it. But many countries are asking to increase their NDC. And also the target temperature is 2 degrees Celsius, but anyway, if possible, 1.5. Am I right? Okay, so now when many countries in the last, there is a Climate Ambition Alliance, I would have told you. So in that, the India also said that we will not join the Climate Ambition Alliance because Climate Ambition Alliance says that increase the NDC. But India says that we will not increase the NDC because we have given the best NDC. And also pre-2020, voluntary pledge. If you remember the pre-2020 voluntary pledge, we have achieved it. So in this, before 2020, Kyoto Protocol, legal binding, still there for the developed country. So now our concern is very clear. What is the status of 2020, pre-2020 Kyoto Protocol? Because pre-2020, for all the developing country, it's only voluntary pledge. India has achieved the voluntary pledge. For other developed country, it is Kyoto Protocol. It's a legal binding. So what is their status, whether they have achieved it or not? That's the first question we want. Second is, we have given the best NDC. We cannot increase the NDC beyond it. But anyway, if all the countries are increasing the NDC, we will increase it. Okay. And the third is, we want 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay. Target time, we want 2030. But now the countries are pushing to 2050. Now everyone is talking about 2050. By 2050, they say that we need to bring net neutral. The Paris Agreement, almost it started. 2020 it started. So net and neutral. But we say that, okay, fine, 2020 is ultimate target. But right now, don't think about 2050. India says, think only about 2030. 2030 itself, try to reduce, 30-50%. And India also supports this 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is a right now stand. Now, in the last 1 year of time, actually nothing much has happened. Just we will see some of the discussion took place. We will see what are the discussion took place. The first thing is our UN chief, that is the Secretary General, in a statement, he said that he has released one report. That report is nothing but NDC synthesis report. NDC synthesis report. All the countries have given their NDC. So based on that, they have synthesized it and they have released a report. So when he released a report, the UN chief said that this 2021 is a make or break year to confront the global climate emergency. It's a make year or break year. That means in this year, that is COP 226, by November 2021, 26th Conference of Party, that time all the country has to take a firm decision. Okay, so he says that we have to set our target for 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, and 45% reduction we have to do in the emission. So right now, if you are emitting 100% now, so in that 45%, you need to reduce it by 2030 itself. Then only you can bring it to 1.5. So why he's stressing on 1.5 is only because of various report. IPCC, UNEP, everyone says it, don't go beyond 1.5. I told you, if you go beyond 1.5, you will reach a tipping point. Once you reach a tipping point, then, everyone will get triggered. Then whatever action you do, you cannot control it. So the same thing he says it, this year is very, very important. This November 2021 of Glasgow, wherever it is going to happen in Britain, UK, it's very important. So please try to change he says that, it indirectly says, please try to increase your NDC. Please try to reduce 50%, 45% of your emission reduction. Okay, that is one. So doubts I will clarify. Second is, okay, what India we have done is, we have the government of India, that is ministry, has created a Apex Committee for Implementation of Paris Agreement, AIPC. Okay, Apex Committee for Implementation of Paris Agreement. So this committee was formed under the chairmanship of our secretary, Union Ministry, Environment Secretary. Okay, so there will be a committee will have 17 members. Okay, what is the purpose of the committee? The purpose of the committee is to implement the Paris Agreement. So when I say implement the Paris Agreement, so the one is, first they have to coordinate with all the climate change related matters, especially to protect the interest of India. Okay, the committee has to ensure that India is going the right track in achieving the climate change obligation, and also to see whether Paris Agreement is implemented or not, and also regularly communicate and report what is the India status of achieving the NDC to the UNFCCC. And also now this ministry alone cannot achieve it. Right? All the other ministry, like our ministry, everyone has to participate. So that's the reason the committee will also be responsible, okay, to delegate or to coordinate all other ministry to achieve this climate mitigation adaptation. And very important is, this committee is a one which will act as a national authority for regulating carbon market in India. That is nothing but our Article 6 of Paris Agreement, which I already told you, right? Article 6 of Paris Agreement is nothing but the market and non-market mechanisms. So this committee will act like a national authority. So all the carbon related markets, whatever the market is going to come, like a Kyoto Protocol, emission trading, whatever it is going to come. So they will act like a national authority. They will control the market. It is nothing but this Apex committee, 17-member committee is a one, will implement the Paris Agreement. Then comes the good news. The US officially rejoined the Paris climate deal. So you know that by 2019, Donald Trump, he said that he is coming out of the Paris Accord. So he said that it's Paris Agreement is something, it is a hoax. But anyway, change of the government, Joe Biden. So he said that now I'm ready to come. So he has signed the executive order and he reversed the withdrawal. What Donald Trump. So as we expected, so anyway, the Congress, the next party, the Democratic Party has come. Joe Biden has joined it. And also rejoining this US is a very good move because US is a major, US and China itself is emitting 50% of the, just a minute. Because US and China itself is contributing 50% of the global emission, nearing 40%. So without US, we cannot do anything. So now US getting into the Paris Agreement is a very good thing. And moreover, we can, by US entering into the Paris Agreement, we will get funding, technology transfer. And also, we are waiting for the US to give their target, NDC target. Now they will revise the target. So 2030, so what US is going to control? So that is also important. And also how the US is going to commit to the Green Climate Fund, how US is going to commit to the technology transfer. So everything we will see in it. So it's a good news that US has officially rejoined. So now later point of time, so we had some summit. So these are all very small summit. In January 2021, there is a climate adaptation summit. So now why the summits and all, in between that we have 2 to 3 summit. The main reason is to accelerate this COP26. Because when we go and sit in November, COP26, that time we should not discuss anything. That time we should take decision. So that is the reason, whatever discussion, talks and all, we have to do it before itself. So now in that line, this summit was created. It is called Climate Adaptation Summit. It was hosted by the Netherlands government in the November, of course, online. So it is part of our UN Climate Action Summit. So I told you, so any conference or party, normally, if you take a conference or party 24 or 25 or something, it will happen in the month of November, December. So 2 to 3 months back itself, they create a action summit, climate action summit. Because that time you should not come and discuss anything. So that time you should take decision. So that's the reason before that itself, you should discuss everything. So that is the main idea about this adaptation summit also. So it is also like, in line with your climate action summit. So what they discussed, so of course, they discussed all the features, what we are going to do in the COP26. So what are the aspiration, how they are going to do. But specifically in this summit, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi told about our target of 450 gigawatt. I hope that you will remember this 450 gigawatt of renewable energy. And also we said that India is also promoting this LED light, and also part of it, 26 million hectare of degraded land we will revive, which we told in the UNCCD. So directly or indirectly, it will tackle the climate change. Apart from that, in that summit, they spoke about agriculture research. That is to support the agriculture and agriculture research. So especially to support the farmers, the discussion was there. So of course, they were discussing about what we are going to do in the COP26. So in that line, the next one comes this is what Leaders Climate Summit. So what is the Leader Climate Summit? This is specifically hosted by our US President, Joe Biden. So Joe Biden actually has invited 40 world leaders, so including our Prime Minister Modi, to the Leaders Climate Summit. So this summit is very important because this is a time, of course, the Joe Biden, of course, has declared what is the US target and what US is going to do in the next another, 10 years or something. So in this line, US has given a target that they will reduce 52. US said that they will reduce 50 to 55% of greenhouse gas emission. Okay, at 2005 level by 2030. This is what the US target. Our target is, I told you, 30 to 33% something, 33 to 35%. So US said that, Joe Biden said that I'm going to reduce, United States will reduce 50 to 50% greenhouse gas reduction at 2005 level by 2030. And apart from that, so all the other consultation happened. Actually, of course, before that itself, before this leaders summit, John Kerry, the US representative, came to India for the consultation. After that only the leaders summit has happened. So US president has told about it, and also he has announced about the emission target, and also he has, they didn't announce about the climate fund and all, but they said that climate funding will be given. But India told that India requires 2.5 trillion US dollar between 2030 to achieve its NDC. So whatever the NDC commitment we have given, if you want to reach this NDC commitment, India needs minimum 2.5 trillion US dollars. Okay, we want the support of this thing. And at the same time, in the leaders climate summit, Joe Biden also said that we want to limit our global temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius, because recently IPCC report said that. So if right now the NDC commitment, what the country is taking, whatever the countries are implementing, is not sufficient to keep to 2 degree. It will go more than 2 degree, 2.4. Okay, so that's the reason we want to limit the temperature. So anyway, the leaders climate summit, so he said that we have to improve our effort to limit our temperature to 1.5, even though the target is only 2 degrees Celsius. So there is another thing. After the summit, a report came out which is called Climate Action Tracker. So what is the Climate Action Tracker? See, basically this Climate Action Tracker is an independent scientific analysis. It's like a think tank. So they track it's a research organization. They track the government action on climate change. So it is a collaboration of two organizations, New Climate Institute and Climate Analytics. The two institute only has created this Climate Action Tracker. Actually, it is from 2009. So their job is to scientifically analyze the country's NDC, the country's action, and report that whether the country action is sufficient to keep 2 degrees Celsius or 1.5 degrees Celsius. That is what the climate tracker. So what they said was, the climate action tracker, they said, so right now, whatever we are doing, whatever the actions is being taken in the Paris Agreement or in the summit is not sufficient, because the global temperature will increase by 2.4 degrees Celsius. Of course, they said that it's 2.6 something. Okay, so multiple report camps predicted that it will increase by 2.6, but our target is 2 degrees Celsius. But they say that it will go to 2.6. Okay, so they have how many countries they have tracked it? They have tracked the commitments of 36 countries. Of course, with the European Union, so which is accounting 80% of the world carbon emission. So in these countries, when they track, they say that it is not sufficient. It will go to 2.6 degree Celsius. That is what they told. Of course, IPCC and all says that it will cross 1.5 degree will come in another 20 years itself. That is what IPCC says. Okay. Then our Minister of Environment has participated in the United Nations Security Council debate. So in the UNSC, United Nations Security Council, there is a debate which is called Maintenance of International Peace and Security, addressing climate-related risks to international peace and security. Okay, what is this debate is? Okay, so we will have another few slides only. So what this debate is? This debate is about what will happen to the safety and security, political security, because of climate change. So in this debate, they said that even though climate change does not directly cause violent conflict, but its interaction with social and political definitely will have an impact on peace and stability, because the United Nations Security Council is peace and stability. So they said that it's indirectly it will do. And in that UN Security Council, India said that, our union minister said that the idea of climate action should not be moved to climate ambition post to 2050. So we told very clearly, do not talk anything on 2050, only talk on 2030. That's all. Okay, by 2030, we should reduce 50% emission. Okay, and 2050, okay, make it zero. But right now, do not talk anything on 2050. If you talk anything on 2050, then 30 years it will take time. So that's the reason they said, and also we said we need financial technical support for achieving this. Okay, so that's another thing which has happened. Anyway, COP26 president is going to be Alok Sharma. So UK climate chief. So he is going to be the COP president, since it's going to happen in UK. So he came to India because the reason is, today, after US and China, India is a third biggest emitter. Okay, so what he said is, so first thing, so he said that he is satisfied with the India's NDC actions and implementation. And also he said that India is also a very close partner to UK for the successful outcome of the COP26, because we are a very important person. And also he said that he will support India for our climate actions as well as for the finance. So we need to wait for COP26. Okay, so that is the major thing. So apart from that, we have some science basis. So IPCC physical science basis report has come, ER6. Okay, what it says specific to India, Indian Ocean is warming at a rate higher than other ocean. So comparing with Atlantic and Pacific, Indian Ocean is warming more. And the second thing is, because of this, India is going to find more extreme weather event. And of course, we are going to find this extreme weather event even within 1.5 degrees Celsius. Even within 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the report said that India is going to experience heavy rainfall, melting of glaciers, heat waves, and more impact India is going to face. Frequent heat waves, humid heat stress and all, we are going to find coastal area submergence. So India has to be very careful. So they want that all the country should take a deep emission cut. That is what they told, and go for decarbonization. Okay, and there's another report said that the fifth assessment, the upper report said, the IPCC says that Antarctica is heading towards tipping point. So tipping point is a one where beyond that, you cannot control anything. The melting will happen rapidly. That is what the irreversible change. So they concluded that Antarctica is moving towards irreversible climate change because it's going to reach its clipping point. Okay, that's another thing IPCC has said. Okay, apart from that, we have only reports, small reports. 90% of the time, UPSC have never asked on any reports. Okay, so you can have a look at those reports. Some 4 to 5 reports I have given. Just have a look at this report. It's not needed. Okay. Then the next one is linear to circular economy. The last one is 2 things, linear to circular economy. So what is that linear to circular economy? It is nothing but we have to recycle. See, today, resource efficiency is very poor. Okay. So we are in a policy like take, use, dispose. That is, take the natural resources, use it, dispose. And you know that natural resources are limited. So if you do it, after some point of time, the resource will become very costly, the product will become very costly, and you will not have the resource. Now what you have to do is all the old, so if you take a old vehicle, steel and all, we have to recycle it. That is what actually it is it's a called a linear to circular economy. So for this, the government has set, of course, the Niti Aayog has set 11 committees. The 11 committee, the 11 focus area, 11 committees, the 11 focus area, it will be there. So the 11 focus area where the circular economy will be is to municipal solid waste, liquid waste, electronic waste recycling, all the scrap metal, ferrous and non-ferrous, solar panel, gypsum, lithium ion rubbers, agriculture waste, toxic, industrial, rubber. So these 11 areas we have to recycle. So it is a sustainable goal under the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So Atmanirbhar Bharat means that is we are not disconnecting from the world. So we are going to reduce our import. We are going to increase our export. So how can we reduce our import? All the old steel, old electronic products and all, we are going to recycle. We are going to increase the resource efficiency. By that way, we can also tackle climate change. We can reduce pollution, okay, and we can make it better, resource utilization. That is what circular economy we talk about, which is also, of course, this is what came out as a national resource efficiency policy. That is, whatever the resources we have to efficiently make use of it. All the old material, we have to reuse it and recycle it. This concept, we call it as a circular economy. Okay. So with this, I think some of the major current affairs I've done it. Now, whatever I have shown it, apart from that, some more information, I will update it and I will give it as a handout. So probably maximum tomorrow evening, you will get a PPT file, that is PDF file. So whatever you have seen in the slides, everything will be given there. So you can have a look at it. You can do 1 or 2 revision before your exam. Okay, apart from your current affairs, whatever you have. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can ask. Kigali agreement, actually we ratified. Okay, so whatever you study, very important is revision. So without revision, nothing is going to happen. See, it is a two-way difference between Western and Eastern Gibbon. It's two variant. See whether this is enough. Actually, there is no answer for it. So UPSC, you know that it's something, it's unpredictable. It's very highly unpredictable. So what we are trying to do is, what is the best possible to cover, we will cover it. Okay, along with this, construction and demolition waste rules. I will give it to the notes. This year, definitely you see it. Yes, scrap policy more in line with the Western policy only. Carbon credit transfer, see, actually it is related to, it's nothing but carbon credit can be traded both by the private and public market. Okay, even it can also go for an international market. Normally that we call it as a transfer of carbon credit. Yes, IUCN status, try to see 1 week before. Yes, we can wind up the session. Okay. See, what is the reason for 50 micron? See, no, Earlier it is 50 micron. Now I told you, no, it's not 50 micron. So it is around 125 micron. The reason is collection efficiency is very poor. See, any plastic size, when it is very lesser, it is very difficult to collect it. It will fly. It can easily enter into ocean. When it's very heavier, most of the time the recycling becomes very easy. So that's the reason we want to bring it to more micron. So earlier it is 50 micron. From 50 micron, now I told you, no, it's increased to 125 micron something. Okay, so with this we'll close. So best of luck. So revise well. Yes, 22 species is fine for IUCN.